Hello friends, welcome to Buried Truths, where the dust of time is swept away and history's deepest secrets rise to the surface. Let's view the video. The Persian Empire wasn't just a massive ancient kingdom. It was a civilization that laid the foundations of modern governance, culture, and warfare. While many know of kings like Cyrus and Darius, the deeper secrets of their empire remain hidden from common history books. In this video, we reveal 10 incredible facts about the Persian Empire that most people have never heard before. From revolutionary human rights to elite warriors and timeless architecture, this is a journey into the heart of one of the greatest empires the world has ever seen. Stick around. You'll be surprised at what you didn't know. Fact 1. Cyrus the Great created the first charter of human rights. Cyrus the Great wasn't just a conqueror. He was a visionary leader centuries ahead of his time. After capturing Babylon in 539 BCE, he issued a decree now known as the Cyrus Cylinder. This clay cylinder, written in Akkadian cuneiform, proclaimed rights for people under his rule. It allowed freedom of religion, banned forced labor, and even ordered the return of displaced people to their homelands. Unlike typical empires that ruled through fear, Cyrus built loyalty by respecting the customs and beliefs of conquered nations. This humane approach was revolutionary for the ancient world. Modern scholars and even the United Nations have hailed the Cyrus Cylinder as the world's first human rights charter. It reflects a philosophy of leadership based on tolerance, fairness, and justice. Cyrus's policies set the foundation for a more unified and peaceful empire. His model of enlightened rule influenced leaders from Alexander the Great to America's founding fathers. In a world of brutal conquerors, Cyrus the Great stood apart. His ideas outlived his empire, proving that true power lies not just in conquest, but in compassion. Fact 2. The Royal Road was Persia's ancient superhighway, long. Before highways and GPS, the Persian Empire built a road system so advanced, it stunned the ancient world. The Royal Road stretched over 1,500 miles from Sardis in modern-day Turkey to Susa in Iran. Built under Darius the Great, this road wasn't just for trade, it was a tool of empire. Couriers could travel its length in just 7 days on horseback. By comparison, ordinary travelers took about 3 months. This incredible speed was thanks to relay stations placed every few miles, where messengers could change horses and rest. It worked like a modern postal or express delivery system. The Royal Road helped the empire govern vast territories efficiently. Orders from the capital could reach distant provinces swiftly, maintaining control and unity across different cultures and regions. Historians believe the road system inspired later empires, including the Romans, who built their own networks centuries later. The Persian Royal Road wasn't just stone and dust. It was the circulatory system of an empire. It connected people, ideas, and power in ways never seen before, laying the groundwork for future civilizations. Fact 3. The Persians invented the first postal system. Most people think mail started with the Romans, but the Persians were first. Darius the Great established the earliest known postal service using the Royal Road to deliver messages. This system was called the Angarium. Riders were stationed at intervals, and each carried letters across the empire at lightning speed. The service was so reliable that Herodotus, the Greek historian, famously described it. Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor darkness of night prevents these couriers from completing their appointed course. Sound familiar? That quote lives on at the U.S. Postal Service headquarters today, proof of Persia's lasting influence. These early postal couriers were government-employed and well-trained. They didn't just deliver letters. They carried royal commands, military alerts, and diplomatic messages vital to the empire's survival. The efficiency of the postal system allowed Darius to maintain tight control over a massive empire without modern communication tools. In an age before paper, telegraphs, or phones, the Persian Empire created a messaging system so sophisticated it became the model for future civilizations. They weren't just managing an empire, they were mastering information flow centuries before the digital age. Fact 4. Persia practiced religious tolerance long before it was common. Most ancient, Empires ruled through forced religion. The Persian Empire did the opposite. They allowed their subjects to practice their own faiths freely. When Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon, he didn't impose Persian gods. Instead, he helped rebuild temples and returned religious artifacts to their original owners, including the Jews, who were allowed to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This approach wasn't just about kindness. It was smart governance. By respecting local religions, Persia avoided rebellions and earned loyalty from diverse peoples. Darius the Great continued this policy, honoring gods from Egypt to India. In inscriptions, he often mentioned Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrian deity, but never forced conversion. This made the Persian Empire a mosaic of faiths. Zoroastrians, Babylonians, Jews, Greeks, and Egyptians all lived under one tolerant rule. The policy was revolutionary for its time and echoed in later empires, like Rome and even modern democratic states. While others ruled with oppression, Persia ruled with respect. It's a forgotten legacy of inclusion from one of history's mightiest powers. Fact 5. The Immortals, Persia's elite and mysterious warriors. Among the most feared military units in ancient history were the Immortals, an elite Persian fighting force that seemed unbeatable. They were called Immortals, not because they couldn't die, but because their number, 10,000 strong, was always maintained. If one died or was wounded, he was immediately replaced, making it seem like they never diminished. These warriors were hand-picked for strength, loyalty, and skill. They wore scale armor, carried spears and bows, and moved with incredible discipline in battle. Their appearance was striking. Long robes, colorful attire, and gold-decorated weaponry made them both intimidating and majestic. The Immortals served as bodyguards to the king and as shock troops in major battles. They played a crucial role in Persia's campaigns against the Greeks and other rivals. Greek historians, including Herodotus, wrote in awe and fear of them. Even Alexander the Great respected their legacy. They were more than soldiers. They were a symbol of Persian power and invincibility. The myth of the Immortals endures, inspiring books, films, and even modern military units. Fact 6. Persepolis, an architectural wonder of the ancient world. Persepolis wasn't just a city. It was a statement. Built by Darius the Great around 518 BCE, it became the ceremonial capital of the Persian Empire. Persepolis was carved into a mountain with grand staircases, towering columns, and intricate stone carvings. It symbolized the empire's wealth, power, and cultural sophistication. The city was home to majestic palaces and audience halls where kings met foreign envoys. Stone reliefs on the walls showed dignitaries from across the empire bringing tribute, proof of Persia's vast reach. Its design was intentional. The layout reflected order and hierarchy, with spaces organized to impress and control the flow of people. Persepolis was more than beauty. It was an expression of Persian ideology. Art and architecture merged to display royal authority, divine right, and cultural unity. But in 330 BCE, Alexander the Great burned Persepolis to the ground, perhaps as revenge for Persian attacks on Greece. The ruins still stand today in Iran, a haunting reminder of lost grandeur. Persepolis wasn't just a city, it was the jewel of an empire. And even in ruin, it tells the story of a civilization that mastered art, power, and identity. Fact 7. Zoroastrianism, Persia's spiritual legacy to the world. Long before Christianity or Islam, the Persian Empire followed Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. It was founded by the prophet Zoroaster, or Zarathustra, and became the state faith under Darius the Great. Zoroastrianism introduced the idea of a single god, Ahura Mazda, representing light, truth, and order. It also presented the eternal battle between good and evil, a concept that deeply influenced later Abrahamic religions. The religion emphasized free will, ethical living, and judgment after death. Its sacred texts, the Avesta, guided moral conduct and religious practice across the empire. Zoroastrian fire temples, where sacred flames burned eternally, became centers of worship and community. Fire symbolized purity and divine presence. Though not forced on subjects, Zoroastrianism unified the Persian ruling class and shaped royal ideology. Kings claimed divine favor from Ahura Mazda, strengthening their legitimacy. Even today, Zoroastrian symbols and beliefs echo in global religions. Ideas like heaven, hell, angels, and the final judgment all trace roots back to Zoroastrian thought. Persia didn't just conquer land, it spread spiritual ideas that shaped the beliefs of billions for millennia. Fact 8. Persia nearly defeated the mighty Greeks. We often hear about the Greeks defeating Persia, but the full story is more complex. At its height, the Persian Empire nearly crushed the Greek city-states entirely. In 490 BCE, King Darius I launched an invasion of Greece. Though defeated at Marathon, Persia returned with an even larger force under Xerxes 10 years later. The invasion included hundreds of thousands of troops and one of the greatest military buildups in ancient history. Persia won key battles like Thermopylae and burned Athens to the ground. But due to Greek naval tactics, internal rebellions, and logistical strains, Persia was eventually pushed back. Still, the wars were far from a one-sided affair. For decades, Persia remained a major threat and influencer in Greek politics, often funding rival city-states like Sparta to weaken Athens. The Persian Wars reshaped history, but not because Greece dominated Persia. It was a clash of giants, and Persia nearly won. The fact that such a vast empire was held off by smaller, divided Greek states only adds to the epic scale of the conflict and Persia's incredible reach. Fact 9. The Persian Empire was the largest the world had ever seen. By the time of Darius the Great, the Persian Empire stretched from the Indus Valley in the east to the Aegean Sea in the west, and from the Caucasus in the north to Egypt in the south. It covered nearly 5.5 million square kilometers, making it the largest empire the world had ever seen at that time. With over 50 million people, around 44% of the global population, it was the most populous empire in ancient history. The empire was a mosaic of languages, ethnicities, and cultures. It was organized into satrapies, or provinces, each governed by a satrap who reported to the king. Despite its size, the empire was remarkably stable and efficient, thanks to its administrative system, infrastructure, and respect for local customs. United people through roads, currency, law, and shared governance, achieving cohesion without the need for constant warfare. No other ancient empire ruled over such a vast and diverse population with the same level of order and relative peace. Persia didn't just dominate territory, it pioneered the very idea of a multicultural, bureaucratic empire. Fact 10. Persia's legacy still shapes the modern world. Though the Persian Empire fell over 2,000 years ago, its legacy is still with us today. Persian innovations in governance, architecture, language, and philosophy influenced countless civilizations, from Rome and Byzantium to the Islamic caliphates and modern Europe. Many modern words and concepts, like paradise and bazaar, have Persian origins. Persian art, poetry, and storytelling continue to inspire creators around the globe. The idea of a centralized government with provinces and standardized systems began with Persia. Their postal network, tax collection methods, and military organization were centuries ahead of their time. Persian religious ideas, especially from Zoroastrianism, laid the groundwork for core themes in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Even after conquest by Alexander and others, Persian culture absorbed its conquerors and re-emerged through later empires like the Sassanids and beyond. In short, the Persian Empire didn't vanish. It evolved, and its spirit endures in the modern world. To understand history's true depth, we must recognize Persia not just as a conqueror, but as a builder of civilization. The Persian Empire was more than battles and borders. It was a blueprint for the modern world. From human rights to highways, elite warriors to spiritual revolutions, Persia left a legacy that still breathes through our lives today. Which of these facts surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold truths from the past. If you're passionate about uncovering the forgotten stories of our past, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Don't forget to like the video if you're enjoying the journey so far. And stay tuned because there's so much more history waiting to be unearthed, right here on Buried Truths.